Hello, everyone. Welcome to your signature class. My name is Trisha Murphy-Madden, one of the co-founders of FitPro Programming, and I'm excited to bring you this release. We will need a heavy set of weights and a light to medium set of weights as well. Now, remember, in this program, we like to drive home the message that picking up heavy weights, so much so that on those last few reps, you're kind of like having a hard time picking them up. Remember, as we grow older from 45 plus, we have to keep picking up heavy things and pushing against the body in those different ways. So we have a lot of cardio and a lot of strength and everything in between, head to toe workout coming your way. So let's get it started. My feet are hinged, my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm beginning with a hinge. So go ahead and bend your knees a little bit. And from here, we have just that basic move, getting it down first. Remember, in this warm-up, we start with that hinge slow. So you press those hips back and then you rise up. Now, 1 minute of the exercise is always going to feel like a lot to you as an instructor. But what you have to understand is that as we get older, we have to get that muscle memory going, and we have to think about how much time it takes everyone to kind of warm into it and find a little deeper range of motion. Excellent. Now, as I do this, I want to think about pushing my booty back and away from my body just enough that if I had a door ajar behind me, I would just be shutting that door. So hinge and press, stand up tall. Hinge and press. You have just a few more. I'm really starting to feel those muscles warm up in all the good ways. Just a few more seconds here. Our second exercise takes us into that sagittal plane. We have lateral side-to-side squats. So step out, squat, rise up, bring your legs together. Step out, squat, rise up, bring your feet back to start. Now, each time I do this, can I start to create flow? Instead of thinking it as one different movement, I'm squatting and coming together in one fluid movement. Step out. Good. Now, each time I do this, I want to think about stepping into the same place each time, and then starting to increase my range of motion as soon as I feel like I have that pattern. And then maybe in this amount of time, you have 1 minute, remember, in each plane. Maybe you start to add a little speed, right? I like it. Just 10 more seconds on this exercise. Then we are moving to a transverse squat to the back corner of our space, but we need to practice that opening. So let's go ahead, keep both feet parallel at first. Use one foot, pick up that foot, step out so that your feet are at about a 90-degree angle, like my arms. Sink into that squat. Step together, do that side again. Step out, sink down, just getting through that warm up, feeling those legs out. You get to do each of those exercises one more time. We will just layer on a little extra intensity with our body. Step to the other side now. So step out, try it slow at first. Again, think about the ways in which our bodies have to move on a day-to-day basis. How do we get out of the car? How do we step out of a bathtub? How do we step out of a shower? We want to practice those things. Okay, we go back to the first warm-up exercise, and we're just adding a little bit of flow. So back to the hinge. Go ahead and find your hinge. Reach one arm forward. Stand up tall. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Opposite arm. Stand up tall. Now, how about both arms? Reach both arms up and then press your arms back. Try that again. Up, flip the palms, press them back. Let's do that one more time. Hands back to your hips. Stand up tall. Good. Now let's put that together. Hinge. Reach the arms forward. Again, notice that we did a lot of hinge work before we took those arms into extension overhead. Believe it or not, this position can get difficult kind of as we grow older. It's just a different position. It's a little bit more challenging to do. Doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. It's just a different approach, right? You have 8 seconds left. Get ready for those side squats. Now Side squats, adding on a little bit of frontal plane pattern of movement. So I'm going to warm up the core by touching the outside of that leg, okay? So warm up the core. Oh, for me, if I'm teaching a class like this and I feel all those muscles of my core integrating and working together, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to be ready for the workout. Step out, reach, come together. Step out, reach, come together. Now let's go ahead and add a stand tall in between. Step out, reach, stand tall, step out, reach, arms go high, step out, reach, arms go high, step out, reach, arms go high, step out, reach. One more time on that side. All right, now we move back to that transverse squat. This time, both arms go down towards the legs. One arm goes up, then the other. Stand up tall, bring those feet together. Let's go to the other side. You step out, you reach one arm high, you reach the other arm high, really preparing the body for the hard work. Out into that lateral transverse squat. Whew. Yes, come back to start. Step out. You will use this later in our standing section. Reach down, one arm goes up. Oh my gosh, stand up tall. Let's do it one more time on this side. And then we get ready for our 1 minute of warm up on the floor and stand together. Now I'm gonna turn so you can see my body for this one. This is a hinge squat crawl out. 1 minute of work. So you hinge, we've been here before. You squat, crouch, and curl. You walk your body out. You find your plank. You squat back to crouch and curl. You roll up. Now you are moving for 1 minute, just as fast as your body wants to move. You want to encourage your students to do the same. You know, they may only get 1 or 2 rounds in while they're doing this, right? This could just be you hinge, you squat, you could walk out and then maybe walk in a little slower as you do this. Roll up nice. All right, shake everything out. Now, our first exercise is a sagittal plane. This is our block number 1. We start with a split stance squat. So I want our lunge squat. I want you to step back with the leg that feels most natural to first. So go ahead and bend both knees as much as you can while keeping the back heel off the earth. Press up. So single leg. Yes. You are only here for 30 seconds. Again, giving your students plenty of time to get used to the base move. Again, they're still moving, and that's what's really nice, is that we're keeping them moving for the entire class. All right. Get ready to switch. Let's go ahead and switch legs. I'll turn so you can see me. Eyes are on the horizon. Yep. Our second leg exercise in this block is a squat, but it's a little different. We're moving into a very narrow squat. This is one of those squats that nobody likes. Let's go ahead and stand together. Bring your feet together. Narrow squat. Sink into an imaginary chair. Okay, now, notice that my chest is lifted. I'm not folding forward like I'm hinging. I'm only sinking down. You want to think of like a lightning bolt shape in your students' bodies, right? What we don't want to see is the doming of that thoracic spine. Sink down, stand up tall. Press through your heels as you come up. Good. We get to add load to both of these exercises, right? I know. It's going to be very exciting. Get ready to pick up those weights. Heavy weights in 3, 2, bend your knees, pick your weights up safely. All right, are we ready we go right back to that split stance lunge, but this time you're holding one lunge and then you're hinging forward, coming back to center. Stand up tall. Lunge, bending, and then hinging. There's a reason we practice the hinge in that warm-up so much. Yes. Now again, we are moving into the other side very shortly. Last time, so strong. Rise up. Switching sides right away. Down, hinge, and remember, your students will look differently on both sides. What's important is they have enough weight that at the end of this series, that forward leg is talking to them. You have just one more. We're adding weight to that narrow stance squat in 3, 2, 1. Here it is. Your options. Narrow squat, point the weights down, tap the earth with the weights. Option 2, full suitcase squat. You set the weights down, you pick them up. Practicing a safe pickup, you'll also notice that their heart rates raise when they do this compound series. Again, really heavy weights here. This is real life. I don't even have a purse these days that's lighter than 10 pounds. So it would be really silly as I get older not to utilize heavy load. I want to keep building that muscle. Yes, are we ready to move on to core? I am certain you probably are. Get ready, you'll need a little bit of focus. Last time, I want you to set those weights out of your way. Make sure as you do this next exercise, there's no risk for those weights to be near your feet. Step back with your right foot. Now from here, single knee pulls. Pull the knee into the chest, crunch, and then tap that leg back. Crunch, tap your leg back. Crunch, tap the leg back. Now I'm going to use both arms. Maybe you even float that back leg. Woo! Yeah, I like it. Throw yourself off balance and switch sides. So it's just slow and steady. Again, we go legs. We do legs with heavy weights. Then we do core. Then we do upper body. And then we let that heart rate come up. Last time. Okay, next exercise, single leg deadlift. Reach with the opposite arm this time. Here it is. Standing core work is always challenging. Option, to keep that kickstand right where it's at. Next option, let that leg go with you. Again, that teeter-totter arm. Your whole body is the full board of a teeter-totter. As one goes down, the other goes up at the same cadence. And you don't let one be out of balance with the other. All right, let's do one more. On the other side. Now remember, one of the things we like to do is standing core work and balance work, even while the heart rate is elevated from that compound strength work. Yeah, it's really good for us. Are you ready for some upper body? You probably are. Last one. Woo! All right, pick up those heavy weights. Get set up. Knees are slightly bent. Standing overhead press is next. So I just want you to take those arms overhead. Press. Yes. Simple stuff. Now remember, as we get older, even though this feels simple, I'll tell you what, for me, and I love choreography like nobody's business, it feels good just to simplify. Get the max you can out of any workout. Let's go ahead and alternate arms. Press overhead. Press overhead. Take your time. There's zero rush needed, right? This is not something you need to do fast. Up. Good. Are you ready for tricep kickbacks? same plane of motion, hinge forward, glue your legs together, single kickbacks right here. We're taking both arms at first. We'll move to singles, second half of the minute. This will be in your notes for my instructors. 30 seconds of double, 30 seconds of alternating. So we go bilateral to unilateral. Use that exhale breath. I love it. Here we go. Now single arm, one, and then the other. Now can you look around the room and see a nice long spine in your students, right? I see a lot of this in the gym, right? I see a lot of sort of the spine imploding on itself. I would rather see a less of a hinge as long as they can keep that elbow behind the body. Are you ready for this? I want you to set your weights down. Now listen, go ahead and start the movement. You have 30 seconds. I will talk you through this little cardio metabolic challenge. You have 30 seconds in the base move, working hard. And in just a second, we'll work 10% harder. Maybe that means you find bigger range. Maybe you add some arms. Maybe you start to gallop a little bit side to side. Ready, go. So now we have 20 seconds. Yes. Come on. You have this. Now in 10 seconds, I'm gonna ask you for your best 10 seconds, okay? Breathless. That could be a full jump. It could just be faster. Are you ready? Let's go. So again, 10 seconds is all I ask, right? It can be a gallop. You never have to have both legs leave the ground. Now you have 30 seconds of recovery. We do the reverse this time, okay? 10 seconds easy. 20 seconds, 10% harder. 30 seconds what we just did. Yes, so we're kind of reversing this ladder, and that's gonna feel good. I'm walking around to bring my heart rate down. Are you ready for the first 30 seconds? Again, the first 10 seconds is easy. Take a deep breath. 10 seconds easy. Start to move again. So all we're really doing here is establishing the pattern, because in 4 seconds, we start to move a little faster. You ready? So for 20 seconds, you're back working hard. And then I'm gonna ask you for 30 seconds of all-out effort, okay? Yes, you have this. Get ready, all-out effort. Let's go, let's go, let's go. At the end of each section, or the end of each block of work, I like to push my students. I want my aunt who's 60, I want my mom who's 80, and my stepdad who's 75 to all be breathless. I want you to as well when you try this. 4, 3, 2, now 30 seconds of recovery, okay? We're moving into the next block of work. You can talk while they recover, but you have to give them recovery, right? Time to get water, time to adjust, all right? Remember, the nice part about going from block to block, we now go back to the base. Our first base move is an alternating curtsy lunge. It's in the transverse plane. Are you ready? You're doing great. In 4, in 3, 2. When you're ready, alternate those cross back lunges. So curtsy or cross back. First time through, we are finding our way. We're feeling it in our body. Starting to think about how our body responds to the floor underneath us. What happens to our core when we feel off balance? Yes. Now, as soon as you feel ready, let's go ahead and make this a little bigger, either with bigger bent through the knees, or maybe you extend those arms up. Yes. If your knees aren't happy doing cross-back lunges, it might just mean that this foot needs to remain a little bit more parallel, and that's fine, right? It's a little harder to keep the hips square, but that's okay. Second exercise, sumo squat with rotation. You've been here before, right? We practiced this in the warm-up, but this time, I want you to fight for your range of motion. Can you find a deeper squat? Yeah, you can. Let's do it. Now, you're only 30 seconds in on this one. What could you do now to add a focus? So for me, it's take the eyes up towards the ceiling. For your students, if they're already there, it might be about increasing their pace as they do this. It's really good for the vestibular system, the fluid running around our brains, to have to do this kind of rotation side to side. That also means you could have some students who get a little dizzy. All right, go ahead and grab your heavy weights. Quick transitions. We go ahead and find our way to our curtsy cross back lunges. So alternating with the weight. Yes. Nice. All right, now for 30 seconds, we do exactly this, just heavy load. And at the end of the 30 seconds, I'm gonna have you quickly set down one weight for chest rotation. Yep. Are you ready? Go ahead and set that weight down quickly. Weight comes to your chest, same exercise, rotating towards your forward leg. I'm borrowing this from our pumped up strength program. You get into those legs and then you ask the core to do more maybe than it wants to. Yes. Just a few more. How about just one more? We get to go on to that sumo squat, but with some load. Are you ready? That hand is in front of your body. As you squat down, peel that weight up overhead. Bring the weight down. Stand up, switch arms. Down. Peel that arm up overhead. Come up. Yes. Peel that arm. Now, what if you can't take the hand all the way to the ground? That's okay. You've got an elbow right here. You can take an elbow down to that leg. Yes. I like it. Just getting closer to that sweat running down the body. Okay. Can you give me one more? You can. Core time, get ready. Woo! All right. Take your feet a little bit more parallel. Pick your weight up just like this. Bring it to one hip. Let the weight come into that same foot. Ground the foot. Dig in with that butt. As you rotate, reverse wood chop. Push off that glute on the other side. Push off. I know. Push off. Know that your core is your ticket to the golden age. We've all worked so hard to feel good as we get older. We've worked hard for our careers, family, or outside the home. I'd rather you feel really good and be able to play some sports, some golf, right? Some surfing, some hiking, some bike riding. Get ready to set up on the other side. So again, you're using the glute of the leg that you start on to drive the action. So drive the action, arm goes overhead. So I'm pivoting off that foot, pushing off the ground with that glute. Let's go. Push. Yes. Standing core work is sort of, to me, the most ideal. It is so rare in any given week that I need to go down to the ground and do a crunch to do anything in my life. Almost everything I do that's active is standing, right? 25 seconds. We're getting close. We get to move on to some upper body in the transverse plane. Get ready. Just a few more reps here. Who knew core could make you breathless standing up, right? Grab the other weight. So upper body, transverse plane, hands start right here. One arm presses up overhead, comes right back to the face. One arm presses up overhead. So you just have this little beautiful, slow pattern. There is no reason to rush. I want my shoulders to work forever. I want them to be functional forever. I don't need to crush it. I need to build it. Yes. Come on, we got 30 seconds right here. Can you do it? Yeah, you can. Ooh. Now, our final upper body exercise in this second block of our class is a cross-body punch. It goes up overhead. We'll take a little wider stance, and we will stay on one side first. So go ahead and rack those weights, bend your knees. Pivot on one foot, press overhead. Pivot on one foot, press overhead. So there's just a little bit of rotation happening through that core. You're only on this side for 30 seconds, and then we get to do your second side. Good. Is there still space between your ears and shoulders? That's really important. All right, switch. Yes. Press. Press. Up to that corner. Are we ready for some metabolic work again? I think I am. I love it. I do love the way this class feels in my own body because it has a nice flow, right? Right as I'm like, okay, I'm ready for a little energizer, I'm gonna give it to you, okay? All right, so first exercise, set your weights down. Jack in the box, one hand up, reach towards the opposite hand, peel up into a nice posterior lunge. Reach for the opposite arm, peel up. Round one, I just want you to go through the function of it. How does it feel in your body to bend down and reach across? Yes. All right, rest. We have 10 seconds to set up on the other side. What will the rotation be like on this side? Now, in 3, 2, take that arm up high, reach down, peel that arm up, okay? Reach down. So this is the practice round. Our next round, we're gonna add some explosive power, or we can put a weight in the hand, okay? So if you like to jump, go ahead and rest. If you're a jumper, don't pick up a weight, okay? If you want to just add load, you're going to pick up a weight and do the same exact thing. Ready? Other side. Looks like this if you're jumping. Boom. So you're just reaching across the body, and you're sort of levitating for a moment as you settle in, allowing our knees to respond to just that little bit of effort. Good. Last 3, 2, take 10 seconds break. I'm gonna grab a weight and show it to you that way. I'm grabbing a lighter weight. We go one more time, and then you're done with this little push. Ready? Let's go. Cross body. So in this case, when I add weight, I'm not going to jump. It's the added weight that will impact the heart rate. It's the speed that will impact the heart rate. You don't have to jump. But gosh, if you want to fly, go for it, right? There's many options. Something will work for everyone. Rest. Okay, set your weights aside. Oh my gosh. All right, now moving on to our next block. Guess what? It's our final standing block, our frontal standing block of work. This is our lateral pattern of movement, okay? We start in 45 seconds. So give lots of time for recovery. Let them know what's coming. You are now halfway through the class. You have one standing section and one floor section, and then it's over, okay? So we have a lateral lunge coming your way, and we still have 20 seconds in recovery, so if you want to follow along, you can. If not, here are the cues. Bending both knees, both toes remain forward for now. As I step out into that lateral lunge, I'm gonna let this toe point slightly outward, lift the opposite leg, stand back out. So step out, lift the leg. Okay, you ready? Let's stay on one side first. Let's go to the right first. Take it slow in the beginning. Balance challenge always changes what's happening in the body, right? Yes. Feels really good. It's only 30 seconds per leg, so it goes by quick. It's funny, whenever I get to a place where I'm doing a bilateral exercise for a minute, I think to myself, oh my gosh, that feels too long. And then I kind of watch my class and they're like, no, it's perfect. So remember, people want to move well as they age, because you know what? You know when you're like in your 20s and your 30s and you go to a fitness class and you just crush it and you're like, that's fine. Even if you kind of injure yourself, it's like one of those things that gets better. Nowadays, we can't. We all know that, and it's not just fit pros. As we get older, it's too risky, right? I need to feel good all the time. Yeah. All right, now, toes out, heels in. So this is where we get that star pose action in. My hands are open to the sky, and I'm just going to lift like the strongest star in the world, and then I'm going to come down, arms long. So sweeping. So this is the lower body, but we're adding that little imbalance, right? We're pushing that body to find a new high, right? That space where you might not be able to hold on to your balance, right? I want you to get to the place where you're pushing your body beyond its comfort level, right? Push. You only have 30 seconds. Woo! Start to throw yourself somewhere you don't really want to go, right? A little bit of risk is great. Just 20 seconds here. And then we pick up the weight to make that first lateral lunge just a little bit more intense. One more, hold the pose, hold the pose. See if you have it in you, because now I'm gonna have you pick up your weight. One weight only. Stepping out to the right into that lateral lunge we just practiced. Step out into that lateral lunge. Give me a lateral raise. Bring your legs back to start. Lateral lunge, fly the arm, come back to start. Now you're only in this exercise for 30 seconds because you have to do the other side. These blocks fly by when you're teaching. And a lot of my students say it flies by when they're taking it too, because there's just 4 blocks. Let's step out into the other side. Take your time the first time. Notice that as I do this, I'm looking forward of my toes about 2.5 or 3 feet, right? You only have 15 seconds. Yes, 10 seconds to go. I like it. Now, star pose gets really hard, okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, grab your second weight quickly. Now, arms are gonna go up overhead, but not out wide. So, star pose with your legs. Arms press up. So now we're adding load to that star pose. And I don't know about you, but it's a squat thrust, basically, into a star pose. So take your time. Tell your students they can work faster or slower than your pace. It's not your pace they need to chase. It's their best pace today that they need to chase, right? So important we know that, right? We even have days as fitness coaches that our best pace is better than ever. And then the next day, we could come back and be like, what the heck is happening to my body, right? Core is coming up. Set your weights down. Standing core. Tipping star pose. So I start here, no heels lifted. I'm gonna tip over only as much as my body allows. One side, tipping star. Standing core is just like a dream, right? Nothing better. Only 10 seconds on each side. Whoa, gosh. And switch sides. So the first time you hit tipping star, I want you to be gracious. Give yourself grace, but be gracious to your students. They may not even be able to float the leg. And in this case is the one time we get to repeat the exercise right away. And again, the pace isn't what matters.
It's the throwing yourself off balance with the legs in a unique position. Ready? Here we go. The other thing to remember about tipping stars, by giving them an arm pattern, you're giving them counterbalance, right? Now, what if you invited them to look up? Woo! Right? That changes everything. What if you just invited them to maybe tip a little further? Just as I said that, I was like, can I? Again, you're only 30 seconds on this side. I really do love it when my ankles are like, ah! What that tells me when I do that, it tells me that I'm improving my balance. So if I don't throw myself off every day, then I am really not going to improve my balance. So I try to every day. Even if I just take my dog for a walk and walk on, the curb, just to give myself a little something. Okay, it's time for a metabolic challenge. Make sure your weights are far enough away from you that you can move safely. The pattern of movement is a shuffle, okay? Simple and easy. The shuffle can be a gallop, okay? It can be a sweep like a rainbow push, or it can be a run side to side, okay? So we move for 45 seconds, 15 seconds of recovery. Okay, are you ready for this? Let's start on one side. Let's go. And I'm going to give you ways to change it, okay? As soon as you're ready, you can push the pace, you can push how you move, maybe you move bigger. My favorite cue is to take up space. I want my students to learn to be big, right? Counterintuitive, especially for females. Take up space on the earth. You can change your foot pattern, work on foot agility, but we're adding that tap out towards the floor on the outside leg. You only have 10 seconds left, and then you give them 15 seconds of recovery in 3, 2, 1. Okay, second exercise, football run. Simple, okay? So the football run, you're here, 15 seconds. You're here, 15 seconds, and then it's out and in for 15. Ready? Let's go. So this can be small, this can be big, right? It can be what your students need it to be. But I'll tell you what, I know a lot of people in their 80s and 90s that are doing this now, and it feels good. Bring your feet in. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, get ready to go wide. Here it comes, wide. So we're working a little bit in that frontal plane still. Okay, get ready for in and out. Are you ready? Come in and out. You will get a break. Can you change lead foot? So this one is pure foot agility. Out, out, and in, out, out, and in, out, out, and in. Even my own brain is like, was it right? Was it left? It doesn't matter. You want to remember, the more you try to be perfect when you're teaching, the less your students want to be around you. Perfection is not the goal. Enjoyment, how you make them feel. You need 30 seconds to breathe now, hopefully. Okay, we're working into our final block, but I'm going to let your heart rate come down, okay? Now, in our floor section, remember, we are focused on the crowd that's kind of grown up in the fitness space, right? Whether it was through sport, activity, they're looking for what to do now. They're not looking for what not to do. So that's the aspect I want you to keep taking home. Let's go ahead and slowly come down to the ground. We have the hard work first. So in 10 seconds, you're going to give me 10 seconds of push-ups. Knees, toes, one knee, both knees, it's up to you. Let's go, 10 seconds. So you're giving me as many push-ups as you can do in 10 seconds. That's not very long, is it? Go ahead and hold your plank. Now, that plank could be on your toes, could be on your knees, could be on your forearms. We have 10 more seconds here. And then we are going into push-ups for 20 seconds, a little longer. Are you ready? Set. Let's go. 20 seconds. Down and up. Again, changing the interval timing. And notice that I'm not counting reps, right? Because some of my clients can do 2 push-ups in 20 seconds and some can do less, right? It doesn't matter what you can do. Okay, plank hold. Plank hold, stay here. Just 10 seconds. Yes, you can do this. Last one. Okay, come to your knees. We are moving on to kneeling press ups. So grab your medium weight. I'm gonna show you from the side. There's a hinge at my hips, not a lot. My arms are here. I'm pressing my arms up overhead, okay? Stay right there to begin, 2 arms. Now remember, life doesn't happen up here, right? Gravity's almost always working against us, so that's why I wanna press at that angle overhead. We're on block 3. I'm sorry, block 4. You're almost done. It's gonna feel so good when it's over, right? Go ahead and hold your arms up. Bring one arm back, back. Just one arm at a time. Are you loving it yet? No, probably not, but that's okay. There's only 10 seconds left. Again, simple stuff, 1 minute. I don't want you to spend your entire time in this class staring at a clock. I want it to be easy timing so you can communicate. All right, little bit more of a hinge. Tricep kickbacks, but a little different. Flip your palms, just lift and lower those arms. We start here for the first 30 seconds, okay? And then eventually we will turn our palms to face each other. Keep this really small. Yes. You get to sit down after this exercise, I promise. Go ahead and let your arms face each other. Small bend and extend. Small bend and extend. Ain't nothing but a thing. We're almost there. 20 seconds. And you'll kind of notice that my music falls into kind of what people have been listening to like the past 25 years, and then maybe 1 or 2 songs coming forward tends to be the right sweet spot for my students. Okay, let's go ahead and have a seat. Single arm biceps. So I'm gonna grab one heavy weight and just let one arm do the work. Nice heavy weight. Now, if you're doing a heavy enough weight, this will become a lot quickly. Use that exhale breath right here. Okay, switch sides. Just a little bit of everything, but heavy enough to leave your muscles talking to you. We get to work into some abdominal, front side of the abs, or front side of the core, and back to wrap things up. You have 10 seconds right here. We are going to set those weights out of the way so there's zero risk of you rolling towards them. Let's set up for our first core exercise, making sure that's all out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna take my mic pack out. All right, so I want you to take your feet as wide as your mat, okay? And we're gonna practice rolling up, rolling out of bed, right? I swear more and more these days, I always roll over to the side when I get out of bed, and it's just like little like things that are bothering my body. Again, it's just 1 minute. And of course, the layers are there, right? You could keep those arms overhead. Yeah. Just about one more rep. Okay. This time I want you to hold your body up. Now you're doing what I call a seated twist. So arms are long, body is here. You're rotating to one side, rotating to one side. Now, if and only if your back is happy, your students' backs are happy, you give me a little half 45-degree angle trunk rotation. We switch sides in 4. I'm going to face away from you in 3, 2, rotate. You've got it. Oh, yeah. Ah, yes. Last 10 seconds. Feels really good, actually. Now, I know I say this ad nauseum, but I like to have my students playing on the floor a lot. So what I want you to do now is make sure that they are flipping over, that they're moving around on the floor. Body weight movements on the floor are really important. So lift one leg up, square your hips. What does that feel like? Tiny lifts on one side. Simple, simple stuff. But my glutes are connecting to it. It really helps to practice keeping the hips square to the earth, shoulders stacked over the wrists. Yes. Are you so ready to be done? And switch. Guess what you have? Your final piece of work coming your way. Now, super important, I build this between 45 and 48 minutes, but that doesn't include your stretch, right? So you need at least 3 minutes of mobility at the end of every class. All right, go ahead and roll to your backs. We have one more exercise, and then you get to go learn the whole routine for your students. Okay, so find your way to a bridge. I want you to think about monster walks first. So I want you to place the weights across your hips. Now remember, we're lifting heavy things for good reason. Just walk your feet out slowly. Right, left, bring your leg in. Can you keep your hips lifted as you do this? Know that you have this. You do. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Yep. You've got it. All right, now pick one leg up. Bend that knee. Tiny lifts right here. Last exercise. Woo! You could extend the leg if you wanted. You could load all the weight onto just one side or set one weight down. I like the imbalance. Last 15 on this leg. Fight for those last few seconds of class. Help your students understand why that's so important, right? Finishing strong is what drives their next visit to your studio or your virtual class. Switch sides. Here we go. Lift and lower that leg. Up, up. Oh, yeah. Know that your body just needs and wants a little bit more every day. I feel like I want to get better with age. If I can, bring both legs together. All right, I'm going to set my weight down right where I see it. Okay, listen. That was your full workout. You want to make sure you add the 3 minutes of mobility now. The time shifts slightly based on your metabolic challenges and where you need to put those recoveries in. We build this class to have your students moving 90% of the time. The only time they're not moving is during those passive recovery times, and those can even be somewhat active. So thank you so very much for being a part of this, and I hope you really loved the workout.